Have you ever canoed down a babbling brook?
No, but I have cried at a Taco Bell.
Oh, same thing. Listen up, campers.
It's time to buckle up, pitch a tent, and take a hike.
Because Camp Counselors is a variety show.
So prepare for a good old-fashioned kumbaya,
Weird news,
hot gossip,
and scary stories around the campfire.
so spooky.
Is this podcast even about camping?
No, but it is camp. This is Camp Counselors. Hey, happy campers. Welcome back to Camp Shady Birch.
It is week 85 here at camp, and the cabin's looking clean.
We've been cleaning for 2 days. My sister is on her way from Boston. She's staying for the weekend. Love her to death. But it just, when anyone comes here, I'm like looking at every single baseboard, wiping every single fan. I'm a freak about it.
I know, but it's kind of a good thing. We need the cabin needed a little facelift. It did. I was scrubbing the bathroom.
Yeah, you really were. I was scrubbing every other room in the house. We got her a new bedspread because the bedspread in our guest room was I just hated it. And I was like, let's just go down to Marshall's. Not to lie, we went to Home Goods.
Yeah, and it was also too small for the bed. It was embarrassing.
It was definitely the size of a full on a queen size bed. And I wanted to make this mom video because people keep sending me pictures of these Gigi mugs, and that'd be perfect for a mom video for me. But of course, when I go there, there's no good Gigi mugs.
Yeah, we went to TJ Maxx. We went to Marshall's. We went to, what is the other sister? No Gigi in sight. Well, they had one, and it just wasn't. You couldn't even read it.
I don't know, whatever. But it's a beautiful day here at camp. I also noticed that I need to get a different chair. If you've never watched our episodes ever online, first of all, you're fake. Second of all, I'm just kidding. Third of all, I sit in a traditional Coleman's camp chair. This would be very luxurious if you're at your kid's sport game or around a campfire, but we are in a house, so it is weird to sit in a camping chair inside of a house.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to adjust my seat 17 times in one episode because the back of it is a U scoop.
It's a scoop. It is a booty scoop.
It's a booty scoop. So I just feel like I need some more back support on this.
Yeah, we can definitely check what we have in the storage shed.
I know, it's just gonna be sad if I switch the chair because then it's it's a different era and I don't know if I'm ready to say goodbye yet.
No, I think you are, because once you have that chair, you're gonna be oh my God, how did I live without this? You do have that fun pocket right there. Is there anything in there?
Yeah, old Michelob Ultra bottle cap tops.
Oh, I wonder when those are from.
Well, don't throw them out. I'm keeping them for a project.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a headpiece.
Okay, out of bottle tops.
Mm-hmm.
How vintage of you. And while you're sitting in your booty scoop, I'm over here sitting in my luxury salmon pink, almost velour chair with rattan accents on the arms.
Yeah, where did you get that? Amazon?
You're not going to believe it. Home Depot.
Oh my God, you did buy that from Home Depot, and I thought that was crazy. But sometimes Home Depot, I got my Christmas tree from Home Depot.
Yeah, sometimes they're on.
Yeah, and I know people are gonna say they're homophobic. Well,
wait, are they?
Well, who isn't at this point?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm a little homophobic. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm that chair couldn't be less homophobic if it wanted to. Rattan, soft white wood, and a pink velour seat. Who we kidding? They were homophobic. They are the gay people.
Yeah, it is gay.
Oh, so Home Depot is closeted. And if you don't know what Home Depot is, it's Home Depot.
Oh, Homo Depot.
Oh my God, literally it's in the name. Who are they kidding with right now?
Wait, how are they gay? Or I'm sorry, how are they homophobic?
Babe,
are
we're
they
not
just
gonna get
okay, yeah.
I don't have the information from it. I'm not gonna say something I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Okay, perfect.
Anyways, before you said something that made me think about our weekend, and you said the scoop, and it made me think of Scoop Marie.
Scoot! Oh my God, Scoot Marie.
So Scoop Marie is the camp dog. And you may have seen her wagging around camp. So Jonathan, we were leaving a coffee shop on this insane Sunday that we're about to tell you about. And I asked him to give me a dog name. I was like, can you name a dog? What would you name this dog? And he said, Scoop Marie. And I was like, first of all, I've never, is her first name Scoot? Are you describing Marie? Who is Scoop Marie?
No, it's just Scoop Marie. She, she has maybe worms, an itchy bum of some sort. She's just scooting her bum all over town.
Well, pugs love to scoot. A lot of smaller dogs scoot. And I don't think it means that they're sick. I think they're just being crazy.
She's not a pug. She's a terrier.
Well, I don't want to say that the dog that's in our care at the camp is not being taken care aware of.
No, she is.
She doesn't
Even
have
when she's not
worms.
itchy, she doesn't have. No. She doesn't have worms. She used to. That was a different chapter of her life before we rescued her and brought her here to camp.
Yeah, because she disappeared here one day, and it was a really emotional day. Sandwich had to bottle feed her for weeks. She didn't even need it. She was a full-grown adult, but he insisted on giving her goat's milk from the pasture.
So, yeah, I don't know. You asked me for a dog's name, and I just panicked, and Scoop Marie came out, and it literally fell out of me without thinking. And I just think the name is great, and it stuck.
When we get a dog one day, I want to name her Scoop Marie, like a real dog.
We have to.
It's just like the funniest thing I've ever heard, Scoop Marie. So what's even funnier is what we did on Sunday, campers. So this is kind of a tale that will tell its own tale. So 2 weeks ago, actually, like the story really started 6 months ago. I made a mom video. And I got a comment from the daughter of a Bravo celebrity, one of the biggest Bravo celebrities, tagging her mother in the post. Caroline Manzo. Laura Manzo tagged her in the post. She loved it. And then this comments by Bravo account picked it up. And I didn't really know who she was at the moment because we had never watched Real Housewives of New Jersey, the parent show of this celebrity. So fast forward to about a month ago, we became friends on Instagram. She had messaged me. She was like, she was just asking me questions. We were kind of just getting to know each other. And she was like, you should come to our house and have Sunday dinner. And I kind of was like, oh yeah, we'll definitely do that one day. And then she was like, give me some dates.
Yeah. There's people who say, oh, we should do this. You should come over for dinner.
All the time. People say that all the time. But she was like, give me the dates, which means
it's set in motion. Yeah.
So I gave her a couple dates. And so the date we picked was last Sunday. So we were on our way there to go to Caroline Manzo's house for an Italian classic Sunday dinner. And the only reason why we are very familiar with her right now is because we did Melissa Gorga's podcast.
Sister of the show. Sister of the show.
Yeah, she is. So she's on the same network. We're on Podcast One, and so is Melissa Gorga. So they're like, oh, will you do her show? We're like, yeah, totally. So let's just watch this series for a little bit because it's the one franchise we've never really watched.
Yeah, and everything else right now on Bravo, let's be honest, it's getting sleepy. Everything was coming to a climax, and it's like, okay.
It was perfect timing.
Yeah, it was great timing.
So we've been currently watching the show a lot. So we got to get the exclusive invite. So you know me, I'm stressed. I'm panicking. I was like, we have to get over there 3 hours early. I'd rather be in the area than be there late. You cannot be late to Caroline Manzo's house for Sunday dinner. You just can't. And Sunday dinner is 2:00, and that's how the Italians do it. So we went into this town, and New Jersey people, first of all, stand up right now and perk your ears up.
Come on, Garden State.
We went to the freakiest town in New Jersey. How's it pronounced? Because I said it wrong at Caroline's house and everyone laughed at me.
I think it's Paramus.
I think it's Paramus.
Paramus. Paramus, NJ.
Have you guys, Jonathan, take it away. You have to explain what this town is because I really want to know if other cities in the country are like this because it blew my socks off.
So it's a Sunday, right, babes? It's a Sunday. And we wanted to get over early squirrely, and we were like, okay, we have places that we have to go later on in this current week. And we were like, let's go over there, go to the mall. There's a mall. We'll go bop around and just, buy a couple of things, and we'll be in the area. So we're not late for the Manzos. So we get over there. The mall's closed.
Bloomingdale's. Is it Lord and Taylor? Is that a store? Did I make that up?
No, Lord and Taylor's a store, but I think that they closed along with Strawbridge's.
They need to figure it out, Lord and Taylor. Because if you're still open, I haven't heard about you in so long. They're like, we're already closed. They're like dead in the casket. They're like, leave our name out of your mouth. I'm a dead person. Who is Lord and who is Taylor?
It's a great question.
Who are those two sassy bitches? No, it's great. Like a giant mall closed. What else was closed?
Target was closed. I couldn't believe it. We drove in circles around this town because we were just trying to find places to go get coffee. We were trying to find a Target that was open. And every time, well, then again, I was not checking that little Google thing where it says closed or not. I was just assuming that everything was open because it's a Sunday.
Explain. I feel like we have to explain why it was closed before we can get into further detail.
So there's this thing called the Blue Law. Has anybody out there heard of it? How are we saying it? Paramus?
Paramus. I think we should say it different every time because then there'll be a percentage of us being correct if we just keep switching.
Yeah, someone's
Eventually
going to
we'll
correct
land
us
on
for
it.
sure. This is according to wikipedia.org, by the way. Paramus has some of the most restrictive blue laws in the United States, dating back to the 17th century, banning nearly all white-collar and retail businesses from opening on Sundays, except for gas stations, restaurants, and grocery stores, and a limited of other businesses. Despite this, the borough is one of the largest shopping destinations in the country. I found that hard to believe.
I don't believe that either.
And let me tell you that sentence. Despite this, the borough is one of the largest shopping destinations in the country. Was repeated on Wikipedia 4 times.
Yeah.
I did Control F I was like, why am I reading this sentence so many times? Somebody's on there from the borough.
It's giving big Paramus.
Yeah, it's giving large Paramus, closed on Sundays. Generating over $6 billion in annual retail sales.
We don't need to get all those details.
We don't care. The Paramus Borough Code forbids
Guys. Focus.
the performance of any worldly employment on Sunday. What a gay man wrote that.
First of all, every time you guys clock in now, this is a performance.
Yeah, this isn't a career path. It's a performance.
New Jersey would actually categorize you hitting clock in as, okay, my performance of worldly employment.
Yeah, of worldly employment.
Get that workout.
Of worldly employment on Sundays, with the exception of charity. Oh, for charity. So if you're doing something charitimous.
So the kids can have a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
They're
we'll
like,
let it slide.
Can you imagine the cops pulling up and be like, shut this the fuck down? He's like, I'm 11.
And this is going to
He's like,
children in need.
Hands behind your back, slams the kid on the ground. He's like, no business. You're performing employment.
It's the thin blue law. And the sale of newspapers, are people still... Print media is not dead.
Not in Paramount.
No, it's not. Medicinal drugs, meals, prepared food, and cigarettes. Oh, okay. If you need to smoke.
Thank God you can smoke. Because it's like, if you can't smoke on a Sunday, when can you smoke?
Even work... Okay.
What?
I didn't read this. This was a copy and paste. Is that a crying dog? What was that?
No, I don't know why I was breathing out of my lungs and it was just coming out like a hiss.
That was scary.
It was a spirit, Holy Ghost in me.
Even work performed inside one's own home is prohibited on Sundays. How are you going to tell me? Are you looking through my window, babes? The final sentence in this riveting tale is, the only time the blue law was suspended was in 2012 after Hurricane Sandy. It was lifted for 1 day and back in effect the following Sunday.
Oh my God. In New Jersey, you don't have to do all this.
But you know what? I think the people in the town are for it because they did.
Lauren said they were.
In 2020, it went back into... Oh God, court? I don't know.
Voting.
Yeah, vote. People were going to the polls. Get to those polls.
Guys, get to the polls. Seriously.
You have a voice.
Get to the flagpole. The old flagpole by the old pine.
By the tall pine. And make sure you're registered to vote. But yeah, and everybody kind of just wanted to keep it fine and dandy. And that's kind of what they're doing in Paramus.
But it sucked because we got there. We weren't supposed to be at our house till 2. And it's noon, and we ate at a Chopped, which is like a salad bar. Jonathan got sick. I thought mine was amazing.
Yeah, and it's nothing against Chopped. I just should not have picked what I picked.
Well, I had something there that I've never had before that I think some campers might be excited by the idea, because I've never heard of it.
What?
Has anyone ever thought of a Mexican Caesar dressing?
Oh, yeah.
I had a Mexican Caesar salad, which was basically just like a spicy Caesar dressing there was green chili in the Caesar salad. There was
you had
chips.
You had jalapeno chunks.
You did too, but you didn't get the seeds.
And mine were at the bottom, and I didn't give it a good mix. And that was
they
on
mix
me.
it for you. That's what they do there. The whole thing, they mix it in those big bowls. Did you see that? You don't have to remix it.
Oh, then that's remix. No, then that's on them. I wonder if it was just the jalapeno. Like, what kind of pepper was in was it a Piper Pablo?
This is the second time that we've ordered a salad from a place for the first time that you've gotten sick from.
My body's like, what is this greenery?
I think it's just the way that your body reacts to a lot of high greens.
Yeah, Rough Edge is rough on me. You're right, it is.
On you.
I think it was the salad dressing from the first one because we ordered from Just Salad. Hey, what do you guys sell? Just Salad. And I got the buffalo something or other, another spicy choice. Maybe it was just because it was spicy, but that night, and there was no meat in it or anything. So it was literally just vegetables. And my stomach was a symphony. You heard it over the telly.
Really pretty. What a way to turn a sour moment into a symphony.
Of course you would say sour. It was sour stomach.
So back to Paramount's behavior. Guys, we're in this entire shopping complex. It's a ghost town. The only thing that people are going to is the vet, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, Chopped, or Whole Foods.
The Whole Foods that we were in, they gated off the entrance to the mall because it was attached to a mall. And they said, don't even think about stepping foot to use the bathroom.
There was a little old lady at that Whole Foods who was working at that exit, and she was flipping people off, saying, don't even think about it, you stupid bitch. And then she threw an entire bag of frozen peas at Jonathan's head. He's on the ground. He's literally bleeding. We're dragging him out by his ankles to Chopped. We said, give him more of that Chopped dressing. He needs to come back to life.
Despite this, the borough is still one of the largest shopping destinations in the country.
Well, there's a lot of expensive stores. So based on revenue. Wait.
What?
I just had a memory. Everything's closed, right, guys? We've said this enough times. Guess what one business is in full operation on a Sunday? iFly. iFly, the indoor what's it called? Skydiving
It's
place?
indoor skydiving. It is quite as like worldly pleasure as it gets.
It's if anyone needs to have Sunday off, it's iFly. I can't go buy underwear, but I can go indoor skydiving.
I would love to do that. We did discuss it after we drove past it for the 4th time.
You keep saying that you want to do it. I don't want to do it. There's one right in KOP. I don't think people know about this, babe, because I had never heard about this until I started dating you in Philly.
Yeah, but people know what indoor skydiving is. Where's
no, because it's something that you see on E. It's
yeah,
something
or
you
it's
see
something
on
you see on a movie.
like an excursion on like a Real Housewives trip. It's like, oh, we're going indoor skydiving. It's not a thing you come across. Like, I'm telling you, there's some campers out there that I've never seen one in real life.
Oh,
I'm telling you, it's not common.
It's like a chamber, like a vacuum chamber with a giant fan at the top and the bottom, and you literally you float. You don't go up too high. You can float up. Like, it kind of looks like a silo.
Wait, so my older brother's bachelor party that I didn't go to. Why did I not go to that? I think I was invited. I think I was working. This was when I was working in the restaurants. I couldn't get Saturday night off.
You could have if you were in Paramus.
Well, yeah. Well, no, it was Saturday night. See, split for my Sunday. Wink, wink. No. So they went to one, and I believe it was near Foxwoods. And my younger brother, my other older brother, who's younger than him but older than me, the middle brother.
Yeah, the sandwich one.
He got in trouble.
At the skydiving
He
place?
couldn't control his body. You know, they're kind of holding your wrists and like your foot, and they're kind of keeping you level.
Was he punching?
I don't think he was punching. I think he was like flailing because he was stressed, and he was now making the other guy unsafe. So they made him get out. They said, you can't control yourself. Don't say his name.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can't. Jackson, you know, you did. And he didn't mean to. He was actually in panic. He's like, I hated it.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't like kicking him on purpose. I think he was trying to like catch himself. And the guy was like, calm down. You know, it's like, I can't calm down. I'm fine.
And you know what? In some of the videos I see, some of the people are like yelling at the people.
Underneath is a very deep tube and a really big fan. And that's scary. I think you're looking down at a grate, and you're basically sitting on a subway grate that could break and you could fall to your death.
Oh my God, and be chopped up like a chopped salad.
Oh my God. All roads lead back to chopped salads. We just discovered this place, guys. It's so good. If you ever see one in an airport, get the Mexican Caesar. It knocked my socks off with some wheat lahoche. So yeah.
Oh wait, it's giving Willy Wonka the part where they're floating to the top of the silo thing. That's what I was trying to put my finger on.
It is.
Yeah, and then they have to burp to get down.
And then after that, we had some bags of clothing in our seat, and I was like, well, might as well drop these off at a bin. What else are we gonna do? So it's,
oh my God, and you can do charity work.
And Jonathan, yeah, because we did charity work.
Oh my God.
We literally were doing charity on Sunday. Write that off.
We're really good people.
Jonathan, tell them your business idea. You're like, there needs to be an app where all these...
Oh, because I thought that it existed. And maybe it does, because it's such a good idea that I'm shocked that it doesn't exist. So there should be an app that has a map of all of the donation bins, that no matter what brand it is. Because when I'm looking it up, they're like, oh, you want this very specific brand of donation bin so
World
we can
Aid.
write it off? Yeah, whatever. I'm just looking for anything. So somebody tell me out there if there is one, because you'll drive past 1,000 of them in a day and never realize, you know, they don't stick out, you know, so you never think about, oh, where did I see that donation bin? Unless you're sitting at a red light.
No, I do. I literally clock it in my mind's eye when I see one. I always know where one is.
when I lived in Philly, it was 2 blocks away. So I would just walk.
Yes.
So I always knew that it was there anytime I needed to like donate stuff, which
We donated 2 bags on Sunday.
I
Good
did.
For you,
I'm
purged.
constantly most of the stuff doesn't fit anymore. And also I just have so many clothes that have been in my closet for 2 years. And I'm like, I haven't touched it in 2 years. And I keep giving it that look like your day will come. But what do I wear? The same black t-shirts.
And your
the
Trout
same
Lake
black
shirt.
pants. Well, this is new. It was new to me.
Don't look it.
No, this was somebody else's, but it was found in the donation bin here at Camp Shady Birch.
You threw a bag in and then crawled through the hole and grabbed a bag out.
Yeah, it's like take a penny, leave a penny.
And that's what it should be. That's
Yeah.
what thrifting should be. So we thrifted. And then it was time. It was simply time to head to the Manzos. And I wasn't nervous until I pulled up and said, "Oh, this is the family that was so successful on this show that when they left, Bravo said, no, we'll give you your own spinoff." They were so popular that they got their own family spinoff for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
She is an icon. She basically she's the one that's in the middle of the cast picture on every season that she's a part of.
They don't hold anything. She should be holding like an apple.
A lot of them don't.
What would they hold?
A glass of wine, red wine.
Oh my gosh. Well, that would be good for Real Housewives of Napa Valley. That would be good.
They don't have that.
Well, I'm just putting feelers out.
The girls out there like, please.
Please. So we pull up.
Yeah, we pull up. I knock on the door. I get a huge hug from Caroline Manzo, followed by Lauren. We walk in. Her brother Chris is there, which was so incredible. It's like people I'm literally watching on TV every single night are in front of me, and I'm in the house. I'm in the house I've seen on TV with the most insane conversations. And it was just very surreal and very cool.
Almost like we were family, and I hate, like, that makes me cringe to say. But when we walked in, everybody was just like doing their thing. They're like, "Hi, how are you?" And like just acted like we were supposed to be there, or like that we always go over. And it was just so welcoming and nice. I had so much cheese.
Lauren literally hands us 2 espresso martinis. She's like, "Let's do a shot." We drank, we ate, and it was like the best Italian food, you guys. Like there is a charcuterie board in the front, and it's like full of like fresh mozzarella, and there's mortadella, and it's just there's like and there's apricots, and there's nuts, and there's cheese and crackers. Well, it became really quickly as there was like 7. We were there for 6 hours. Long story short, from 2 to 8. We ate and drank the entire time. There was constantly another section of food, another course being brought out.
She fed us,
but
wow.
It was really quickly. I felt like that she didn't like. She invited us over because like she likes my content, she likes you, and like she just I don't know. She just wanted to become friends. Like anytime the show like casually got brought up, it wasn't like a thing she wanted to really talk about. Like she just is like a normal ass woman who just is
so gracious.
So yeah, just gracious and wanted to host and just wanted to get to know us and like become our friends. And it felt very safe and nice, and they were just so great.
And then Lauren Manzo teaches us how to play pickleball. We've never played pickleball. Let's sidebar really quick. What's going on? I feel like one day, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I woke up and everybody was just playing pickleball. And I was like, what is pickleball? Why are we calling it that? And why does everybody know the rules? Because it really just, how many more games can we make up here, babes?
The funny thing about pickleball is that this was the one trend that I think the elderly really put on. I think it went to the elderly, cycled down to the celebrities, and now the young people are playing it.
Yeah, so we're late to the game.
I think we're late, but I'm like really proud of the older people for being a trendsetter. Because like at some point in your life, I think you just don't care about trends anymore, and like things progress, you kind of stick in your old ways. But the old people somehow, through some ancient magician in the woods who came out, handed 2 old people a paddle and said, "This is the mystery of pickleball." And they took it. Why is it called pickleball?
I have no clue. I still don't quite know how to play. I know there's a kitchen.
I love you, but
I wasn't good, and you know why?
And it's not a but. I love you. You are not great at pickleball.
I was wearing a denim shirt that I couldn't really swing with.
You were swinging fine.
And you know what? Oh, fine. I'm not good at pickleball. I don't have to be great at everything.
No. I'm not saying it to pick on you.
To pickleball on me?
I'm just saying that
Then why bring it up? Okay, period. So all in all, we had a fantastic Sunday with the Manzos. She was so gracious and sent us home with a lot of food and a homemade bar of soap.
Yeah, I sat on the kitchen table and ate like 3 pounds of chicken cutlets when I got home. I was like, this is just crazy. It was just crazy to see someone's like TV house and TV family and them to be so normal, so down to earth, so hospitable, and just so fun. And they like come back anytime. And I was like, really? Because I'll come back today, tomorrow. I really, she was like, 4th of July, what are you doing? We have a big bash. Come down here. She was like, we're closer than both your families. We're your family now. I was like, Caroline, please. It was just very cool.
This episode of Camp Counselors is sponsored by Factor. Counselor Zachariah, you know what I could go for right now?
What?
Blackened salmon with smoked Gouda cauliflower and broccoli.
Oh, sounds delicious.
Good thing we got our Factor delivery yesterday and it's waiting for me in the mess hall. Campers, we love Factor. We've been big fans of Factor, Factoristas, if you will, since way before we got the sponsorship. Now you can eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to eat in just 2 minutes.
Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and Veggie. Also discover more than 60 add-ons every week like breakfast, on-the-go lunch, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feeling good all day long.
Campers, you guys know me. I love food. I do. But when lunchtime rolls around, I'm always doing 400 things around Camp Shady Birch. I'm polishing the canoes. I'm vacuuming. I'm looking at birds. But Factor is right there and ready for me to eat with no prepping, no cooking, or cleanup.
What are you waiting for, campers? Get started today and fuel up for your springtime goals. Head to factormeals.com/camp50 and use camp50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box. That's code camp50 at factormeals.com/camp50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is active.
Attention campers, please meet at the old flagpole under the tall pine for morning announcements.
Welcome back to Morning Announcements, campers. This is the part of the show where we share news articles with you that you might have missed that we need you to spread like wildfire in a contained burning area, okay? Wildfires are not a joke. We do not take that lightly here at a camp theme podcast.
Oh my God, I never thought about that.
And you know what? If you're smoking cigarettes behind your cabin, you need to put those out because I've been going around and I've been my little butt bucket.
Your butt bucket.
It's a part of my job. I go every morning, I smoke a cigarette and I pick up a cigarette. And I'm mostly just picking up my butts.
I was going to say, oh, why is this my brand?
Oh God. Oh, I'm not something gross. Forget it. Jonathan.
Yeah.
I know you're very excited to tell your story. You did 19 hours of research on it last night. You were like, he was on the couch and he was doing his research and he like every 30 seconds he was going, oh my God. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, I can't wait to tell this one. And I was like, do you want to tell me now? He's like, no, I gotta save it. But then for an hour, he was just going, oh.
And I'm like looking over my shoulder to make sure you're watching. And I'm like, oh. And after you hear the story, you're going to be like, that was it?
No, I know it made you really happy.
No,
and I
good.
want to hear it because I know you're really happy about this. So
Okay, it's just like one of those really kooky, crazy, random stories that somehow slipped past us. This actually takes place, it happened in November of last year. But you know
Who
what?
cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
News to us.
If you didn't hear it, they probably didn't hear it. And if they did, they'll want to rehear it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this is coming from the Signal Halifax article. It's by, did I say that right? Halifax?
Yeah, but is this a, what website is it?
TheSignal.com.
Oh, is
of
Halifax
course.
the town?
Halifax the town.
Oh, I got you.
Yo. It's I don't know if it's a town. It's an area.
Well, Halifax, I believe, is a town in Massachusetts.
Oh no, we're talking Nova Scotia.
Oh,
This is Canadian.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah. So that article is by Dylan Taylor, as well as an interview by Global News. And the title of the article is Cemetery Potato Salad Eater Draws Crowd, Gets Indigestion. I'm sad.
I'm sad.
So, like I said, we're in Halifax, Canada, November 2023. This kid, his name is Riley Merry. He opens his fridge one day to find a 5-pound tub of potato salad was going to expire in a couple of days. And instead of throwing it out, he opened up Microsoft Word and made a little poster.
Wait, a 5-pound tub?
I watched it because he did post his journey on TikTok. It is larger than a paint can.
Where did someone buy a 5-pound tub? I've never ever seen
Costco,
it.
$250.
Oh, he got it from Costco?
Yeah.
You're like positive for
I'm
a fact?
positive. He brings it up a
I've
couple
never
of
been
times.
to Costco. Never been. Almost 30. Never been.
We got to get a membership. Okay, so the poster reads, "Come watch me eat 5 pounds of potato salad, November 18th at 5:30 at Holy Cross Cemetery by Prime Minister's grave. This is my first attempt at such a challenge. Please bring your own seating." Oh my God, you could bring the scoop chair.
Oh, the scoop chair for Scoop Marie.
Bring your own potato salad if you so please. The location will be at the grave pictured below. Signs and posters are welcome. After party at Oasis. It's free.
A vision. He had a vision.
At the top of the poster, there is a picture of the tub of potato salad. 2 pictures of Riley are at the bottom, and a picture of Prime Minister John Thompson's gravesite. So he puts these flyers all over town, on flagpoles, on sides of buildings, on moving cars, under people's windshield wipers. And he spent the days leading up to the event expanding his stomach's capacity. His daily regimen consisted of 2 Costco hot dogs, a soda, and a bag of tortilla chips. Now that I'm reading it out loud, I do feel like it could be guerrilla marketing for Costco.
Can I say something different?
What?
My mind is going in a different direction.
Mhm.
There was once an episode of MTV's True Life. True Life, I'm a competitive eater. And it sticks with me. And do you know how the man that was doing, and I believe it was for the hot dog competition in Coney Island, the Nathan's one.
Mhm.
Do you know how someone would go about training for a competitive eating? You know what they're supposed to eat? Or this guy would eat?
Is something like bread or something spongy?
No, he would eat and this was an episode from the early 2000s. He would eat giant bags of like salad kits, like shredded, and it was like not even like greens, like not even really good greens.
Oh,
It was
I
like
wonder why.
iceberg because the water from the greens
Expands.
expands them. So he eat like I'm talking the biggest bowls of someone out there saw this episode because it's stuck with me. Like giant bowls of just plain iceberg lettuce, I think, and that would help him stretch out his stomach. So I don't know if that was the right move for him, but who am I to say? I haven't done it before, but that's what he did, and he was competing at a competitive level.
Oh, yeah. This is, I mean, referring back to the poster on the 4th bullet point, it does say, "This is my first attempt at such a challenge."
We got to start somewhere.
Truly, truly. Okay, so then it comes to the night, right? And over 100 people show up, including the Canadian police, or the Mounties as they call them.
They're
The Mounties?
is that what the police are really called there?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
I could have Googled it. Now I'm insecure. Somebody let me know if that's what they're called there. So the police let him know that the cemetery is owned by the Catholic Council of Nova Scotia, who forbid the eating to take place at the former prime minister's grave. This feels like a fever dream. Like, what am I reading right now? But they said you can post up out front. You just can't go in. So the Mounties cheered him on too. They were like, "Do your thing." Mind you, it's pouring rain while this is happening at night, and people are standing with umbrellas, and Riley's wearing a really nasty, sweaty poncho. He's hunched over a lawn chair, stuffing his face with potato salad. And while he's eating, he's getting a mid-meal interview because everybody's like, "What is going on? Like, this is so crazy. What's happening?" When asked why he really did it, Riley said, "Because he wanted to." He said he didn't attempt the stunt in the name of anything except sheer entertainment. He also said that the increasing cost of living was making it harder for, oh my God, what is this? Haligonians? Not sure what
I've
that-
never heard that word before.
Well, this is Canada. I have no
They
idea.
speak English.
He said it was making harder for the people in town to find ways to spend their time affordably. Quote, "There's not much extra to do. We're all just kind of surviving at this point. If I can put on a free activity to get people to come out and have some fun, I'll do what I can. Rent is high and food is too expensive." The crowd goes wild. It's like everybody's just eating out of the palm of his hand while he's eating out of the bucket of a Costco discount tub of potato salad.
This is at its purest form performance art. It is for the people, and it's raw, it's emotional, and it has ties to a greater purpose.
And it's reduced fat. To others, the event was an absurd ode to freedom. Riley's coworker, Laith Phillips, Love that name, Laith. He chimed in and said, it's an inspiration. You can really just go to Costco, buy a 5-pound tub of potato salad, sit by the side of a cemetery and eat it. You can do whatever you want.
Period. I love that.
When asked why he wanted to eat in front of the Prime Minister John Thompson's grave, he said, because that was the big thing. I was like, why
I'm
this?
curious too. Why is that?
Do you know who that is? The former Prime Minister John Thompson?
I'm unfamiliar.
Okay, so he said this in an interview. This was an interview with the Global News after the story blew up. He said, quote, I don't want to say I don't fully trust the royal family. Okay, I'm listening. My ears have perked up. But there are some suspicious things going on over there. If you guys don't know about this, John Thompson died in the Windsor Castle right after being knighted by the Queen herself.
Like immediately after being knighted?
Yeah, that night.
Wait, that's freaky.
Some people say it was a heart attack. Other people are investigating. And he was like, that's all I'm going to say about that.
And we will, and the one thing about the Windsor Castle, what happens in that castle, we'll never know the truth.
We'll never know.
They'll tell us what they want us to believe, but I don't believe it.
Yeah. But this also happened a long ass time ago because I was like, oh my God, what was this, 2004? Why did I never hear about it? And then I look it up and it's like in the 1800s. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, what do we care now?
So Riley did make his way through 3.8 pounds of potato salad before inevitably upchucking.
How much? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? How big?
3.8 pounds.
And I wish, oh my God, how much? I'd love to see that put on a plate in front of me.
Yeah. I'll
Because that visual will be helpful.
I'll show you him holding the bucket, and he's holding it like right where his stomach is in a TikTok before he goes and does it. And there's no way that can even like fit in your
It
gullet.
could have if he did the iceberg trick.
Possibly. Also, I don't know how long he did this for. That wasn't really stated anywhere. And that's, I feel like, an important detail.
Also, is it good? Like, is it good? Because potato salad can really run the gamut. And I usually don't prefer a store-bought.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I say, oh, that really knocked my socks off. I can make a really good one myself.
Do you like the one with the red skins on it?
I'm not opposed to it. I don't mind a little skin. I love egg in mine, for sure. And once again, this is going to be polarizing. I like a little relish. I like relish in my tuna. I like relish in anything mayonnaise-based. I really do. I don't like it warm. I don't like a warm potato salad.
It should be ice cold.
No, it needs to be refrigerated because I know you have to boil the potatoes, get them soft, right? But they need, also the potato cannot be too firm.
No, oh my God.
I want a half cut. I want you to really do like a rough kind of like cut of the skin, a little bit of bits there, and I like that. Gotta have enough salt, pepper, garlic powder. No onion, no onion, no onion.
I like onion.
In your potato salad?
I don't know. Does that classically come with a classic potato salad?
It depends regionally where you grew up.
I grew up 10-15 minutes from my parents' house.
Have you ever had a German potato salad?
Is that the one with the red skin and it's not mayonnaise based?
It's
like
vinegar.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not opposed to it, but I need to know ahead of time. You cannot put that on the menu as potato salad and then serve me that.
You're not ready.
I'm not ready, and then I'm thrown off. And I'm getting up and I'm leaving.
Yeah. And then
screaming,
kicking,
you don't want to see that. You don't want to. Campers, that happened when we at the mess hall. One time that was on the menu and no one told me, and you all knew. And you all knew that was going to happen. And no one stopped by our cabin and said, Zachary, heads up, it's going to be a rough day at the mess hall. And it was. And I threw a fit.
And it was also on a Sunday. Though he did not successfully eat the 5 pounds, he is determined to train and try again later this year. Quote, definitely can't lose to a bucket of potato salad. Round 2 will happen when it's not as cold and not as wet. So this whole thing blew up. It was like all over Reddit, and he made it on the news. And an artist made this oil painting of Riley eating the potato salad.
Wait, that's so cool.
And he said, I tried to do research, but after the story blew up, it kind of just like really fizzled out. So I couldn't find a whole lot on it. But he said in this interview that the two had partnered up and they're creating merch and prints to auction off the original artwork to raise funds for the less fortunate in Nova Scotia. And 100% of the funds were to be donated. He did make a follow-up post on TikTok thanking everybody for coming out and supporting. And he also made a random video saying, I'm a huge RuPaul's Drag Race fan.
Of course he is.
I'm a straight cis white man, but I love RuPaul's Drag Race. My ex got me watching it, and I've watched every single season of it, but we're not together anymore, and I don't have access to the show. But if there's anybody out there who watches RuPaul's Drag Race who wants to invite me over for a few hours, I would love to come and hang out and watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Let's put a message out here. Come to New York. and come watch with us. We'll provide you with potato salad, our Wow Presents Plus login information,
Mm-hmm.
and you can come sit on our couch and watch with us, and we'll dine and we'll share and we'll talk trade secrets.
He closes it out with, "I'm so down with the gays. I don't care who you are. Send me a message. Let's watch." And he is very like, before watching that, he seems like a very cis, straight, white, stereotypical man. And my assumption of him, that's on me.
I think some people are just born to entertain and perform, and drag at its purest form is just
Oh my
performance
God,
art.
he loves performers art. Holy shit. I
It
didn't
is.
put two and
and
two
it's kind of
together.
political, right?
Wow.
It's kind of political, and so is drag. So yeah, I would say that Drag Race inspired this. What can't RuPaul do? Stop
Truly.
fracking.
So can't talk about that. Do you want to guess his favorite drag queen? Because he was answering questions in the comments.
BB Zahara Benet.
No. The Vivienne.
Oh, so he's a UK girly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
she's
Canada.
great.
Oh, Canada's not UK. Cut that
No,
out.
but
Oh my
they're
God.
sisters.
Yeah.
They're sisters in something, an origin.
Yeah. In
They-
spirit.
He's obsessed with the queen, so he's
Yeah.
like,
Canada also is like reaching its arm out over, like reaching for it.
yes.
Like it's really like spreads itself out there. Yeah. So that's pretty much the story.
No, it was fantastic. It was
That's the
something worthy of
craziest-
the camp to know.
Weirdest story that I feel like I've read. I feel like, in my opinion, he just wanted like a little slice of fame.
Mm.
And he got it. And he seems pretty humble. He seems pretty nice. And
Good.
he had an idea and did the damn thing. Now, he didn't successfully do it, but is that part of the plan? Because now everybody's going to want to root him on a second time.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll keep our eyes peeled because he said he'll do it this year. And that's my story. So what story have you got for us?
We're going across the pond to Windsor Castle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, UK baby. I just feel like Europe has a lot of great stories that maybe we're not hearing in the United States enough.
Yeah.
So, but this one's kind of spooky. It's a Harry Styles stalker jailed for sending him 8,000 cards in 1 month.
8,000 cards?
8,000 cards in 1 month.
I wonder, is it Hallmark?
We'll get into it.
Oh my God.
This article is from The Guardian, written by Kevin Ralston. So, a woman who stalked Harry Styles has been jailed and banned from seeing him perform. Myra Carvalho, who appeared at Harrow Crown Court, I love that name, Harrow Crown Court, sitting at Henson Magistrates, oh my God, it keeps getting better, court in London, was said to have stalked the singer by sending him 8,000 cards in less than a month. She was sentenced to 14 weeks imprisonment after pleading guilty on Tuesday to a charge of stalking involving serious alarm or distress, a court official said. A 10-year restraining order was also imposed on Carvalho, who was told she was forbidden for attending any events where Styles was performing. Carvalho, who had been staying at a backpackers hostel in southwest London, was also ordered not to contact the singer directly or indirectly. She was told not to enter any area of northwest London that was described in the court. And the official added, in order to pay the victim surcharge of £134. So Carvalho sent the 30-year-old singer handwritten letters while in the UK and ordered a series of cards for him online that were sent to his address. So probably some sort of like
Not
what's
an
a-
e-card.
No, what's a card website? Like, you know, if you send like wedding cards out and you can
Yeah.
just get them all like 8,000 to the same address.
How did she get his address? That's scary.
It is not as hard as you think it is. Carvalho is a Brazilian national who has been in the UK since December.
Oh, okay. So she hasn't been there for a while.
No, she got there and she clocked it and she said, let me get my performance on.
How much is this costing her?
Her family did not know she had traveled to the country, so she didn't. The court, they're like, she's in there and she's arrested and in jail. Appearing, I can't.
Wait till they hear about why. Oh my God.
Appearing via video link from HMP Bronzefield in a hearing in February, Carvalho spoke only to confirm her name. Styles has been targeted by a stalker before.
I'm sure.
So in 2019, a homeless man who spent months camped outside the pop star's home, was just I don't know if he knew that Harry lived there, but Harry felt bad and gave him money.
Oh, okay.
And then it got really kind of crazy. And Harry said he saw him on one specific wet night and said he felt sad to see someone so young sleeping so rough. He offered him money for hotel room and food in the coming weeks. And then he began to see this man regularly. He began to show up at Harry Styles' local pub 3 to 4 minutes after Harry would sit down. he would sit down.
Oh, so he's being followed.
Yeah, so I think Harry probably has like a good nature and like it kind of goes with the game.
Hmm.
And that's really all I have to say about it. The only reason why I picked this article is because I recently just watched Baby Reindeer on Netflix, another UK stalking based story.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone saw it. I feel like the whole world is watching it, especially after this comes out. Like it's number
It's
one on
been out,
Netflix
yeah.
right now. So if you haven't seen it, it's like a 7-part movie series that's written and created by this guy, Richard Gadd, who wrote it based on his own experiences of being stalked in the UK.
Right.
He's like a stand-up comedian, and this woman that he meets at this bar ends up being like a very serious stalker. And a lot of you campers know this about me. My biggest fear in life is being abducted, not kidnapped, because abduction typically happens in your own home. So stalking is kind of equally as scary to me in certain ways. Like people just showing up and knowing where you live, and that is scary. I think a lot of like, so when you sign up to be a celebrity, when you fill out the course online and say celebrity
You
101,
apply.
no, like, okay, like a big part of it is like, okay, personal information comes out, or like tabloids. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, things will come out. You're in the public eye. You're under a magnifying glass,
yes.
and your private life might not end up staying private.
I don't believe that any amount of fame deserves the level of stalking. And feeling
No
unsafe.
way.
This is really scary.
That is scary.
In 8,000 pieces of mail, our mailbox this morning had 12 pieces of mail in it, and I was overwhelmed. I'm flipping through. I'm saying, well, this is a Disney credit card offer I'm not going to do.
Was there anything for me?
No, it's never. Is the mail ever for either of us?
Well, I'll be
It's-
getting a bill even though I'm registered as paperless and my health insurance.
Yeah, they love to have you be paperless and then still continue to send you mail.
I have to call them. Literally, I went on the website and it says, you're subscribed to paperless. You won't be receiving mail. I'm like, why am I getting 2 letters per month?
I think you probably get 2 letters per week from them.
It's too much.
Harry Styles is like, 2's too much. How about 8,000, bitch?
Live or die in my shoes, babes.
From Miss Carvalho. So you know what though? I am all about accountability lately. So I think 14 months, good. Like, don't do that to people.
Don't
That's
do
crazy.
it. It's scary.
It's scary.
And it is the same thing with like people, not to like completely take it down like a weird road, but people who are on social media, I feel like, you know, people just think that they know them so well.
That
because-
parasocial relationship.
Exactly. Like one time you came and visited me and somebody showed up at my house with like letters and put it in the mailbox.
Yeah, because I stupidly posted the front side of your street and like not like the number, but it was enough for them to like know
Yeah,
the street and find
which
the house.
which is
Well,
scary
you
and
know,
very
like,
uncomfortable.
I know, and it like that's a small.
No, I
situation.
100%, but it's
And,
just like
like-
I just could never, I would never be that person. I just don't understand how people function that way. And I know that it's like a mental illness, but that's just, people sometimes are obsessed.
You know when like you're at a restaurant and like or someone's at a restaurant and someone goes up to them and they like, can I get your picture? Like that's the stuff I feel like it's annoying, but you kind of signed up for that, right? Like I feel like Harry Styles, like you're never going to be able to go to a Starbucks and not have someone tap on your shoulder. Like, but at the same time, like you created Watermelon Sugar. We're freaking out about it. Like we loved it. We're going to have to talk to you. But like, you don't need to be mailing him or hanging outside his house or anybody for that, right? Yeah. Don't stalk. And you know what? People are getting stalked and they're not even celebrities. That's horrifying too. Stop. If people don't want to talk to you, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Unblock. I love that stalking meme though, where it's like, I blocked my ex on everything. And then he messaged her through her DirecTV account. And it like a pop-up on her TV. It was like, miss you. And it was like a message from like this DirecTV pop-up. I'm like, now that's stalking, but that's funny.
That is funny.
That girl's like, not funny to me. I'm like, sorry.
Grab your bug juice and bear spray, campers. It's time to pack it up and take a hike.
Welcome back to Take a Hike. This is the part of the show where we bitch a little and we tell something to take a hike. What am I telling to take a hike this week?
What?
Forks with bent prongs.
No, that does suck.
It is so annoying. They do not lay flat in the drawer. And when I'm eating it, it's going to like skid across my teeth. It really gives me both the heebies and the jeebies. Lest we forget, we are putting our Crate and Barrel plates at risk of being scratched. And I don't know, it's just so annoying. We have one fork downstairs that I just keep setting aside. And it has one bent ass prong.
Is it the big fork or a small fork?
It's a small fork, and it doesn't seem to bother you.
I use all the small forks and he uses all the big forks. I like a small spoon. I like a small fork. But what caused the prong to be bent? Do you ever wonder that mystery?
Yeah, how did that happen? Did somebody drop it? Even at that, like, what was the force from the drop?
It was me eating Chipotle drunk like an animal.
It literally is. It was originally your fork.
I'm taking ownership. I don't have a memory of it, but sometimes I black out.
And I've tried to bend it back before. I tried to bend it back. I'm like squeezing it, but I can't bend it like back. I threw out my back yesterday taking out the trash.
You need to use a tool.
Oh, yeah. Why didn't I do that?
Go to
Maybe
the work-
plier
Go to the workshop. Sandwich is there from 11 to 7.
at Home Depot.
No, on camp.
Okay.
The camp tool
The
shed.
wood shop. Oh,
Which is it?
wood. Yeah, okay. We have both. They're
Yeah.
fairly close.
One's
together.
inside the other depending on which day. They invert. It's really crazy. Cabin in the Woods, guys. Yeah, no, go down there, get a plier, and get to work, babe. Get to work.
Or maybe I just like toss it. Can you recycle a fork?
I've never thrown out. Actually, one time I was at a party and I threw out someone's cutlery by accident. No, I know. It's kind of vague because I was in a weird state. I think it was just a fork, and I was so embarrassed. And it was a big trash can, like a weird trash can, and I didn't go for it. I
Where
was
were you?
embarrassed.
Was this at a church outing?
It was not at a church outing. Most stories of mine do involve church. I don't know where it was. I believe it was a baby shower.
That's a funny thing to be like embarrassed by. They're like, literally, it's okay.
It was a gold fork,
Real gold?
solid.
No, it was plated.
No, it was no. You know, like they have those like at Target. They're
Yeah.
like they're not even plated. They're just painted.
Please, it's copper. I'm like, why does this taste like pennies?
Well, it was the bright gold. It doesn't matter. I threw it out. I was embarrassed. So I've thrown out a fork before, but only once in my life, and I was embarrassed.
I think you have to recycle them because they melt them down, right? I don't know. You can't throw it out. It doesn't degrade.
Well, you're trying to throw this one out. So how do you feel about that?
I haven't. It is still in our drawer. It's downstairs in the mess hall right now, mocking me, waiting for me to open that drawer.
So something that's broken and tattered and bruised, you throw away and you discard
Don't
like
do
trash.
this. No.
Because you know what? He's provided a service. He has done a performance clocking in,
Yeah, farm to table.
like the blue law.
The blue.
He doesn't know what a blue lie is because he is performing every day. And look at you. Tossing his head. Actually, I don't even know. I think my mouth is built different because I've never even noticed it.
Oh, I always notice it. And I know that you don't notice it. And that's why it's weird to me. Maybe it's like I don't want to say it's an OCD thing, but I have certain tics and I have brought it up in front of you and my family. And you have all been like, that is not normal. Like, I was like, you know, when you wash your hands and you have to wet your other hand, or your left hand has like a little drop of water on it from something and you have to wet the other hand.
You talked about that in the podcast and a lot of people supported you. So
Thank you.
You have a community here of
It's a safe space.
a double wet hand community.
Yeah, it's a safe space. It's a wet space.
I just don't want you to look at things that are broken or tattered or bruised and think that they're instantly trash because everything can be fixed.
I can't do this anymore. My brain can't be fixed. There's no rewiring
Well,
this thing.
No, it can. I'm going to give it a warm soap bath and I'm going to leave it out in the air. It needs some fresh air. Your brain needs some fresh air. Stop looking at blue screen all day.
If I could just take my brain out for a couple of minutes, 10 to 15
What would
at
you do with
most.
it?
Oh, I would rinse it.
With what?
Cold water, like an ice bath. Or also sometimes I thought about how nice would it feel if you could just like take out your spine and like run some really cold water on it.
I've never thought that, but I could see someone like
I feel like, okay, now
I'm trying not to bark at you and shut you down, but that is weird. Like,
Thank you. Okay. Anyway, what are you telling to take a hike? What's pissing you off?
The TikTok ban.
Okay, let's talk.
So as I wrote this yesterday, it was still not official, and now President Biden has signed it.
So you manifested it?
I didn't manifest it. It was going to happen regardless. So I've been on the internet for 5 years now, specifically TikTok, and we've seen this kind of same situation come down like 4 or 5 times, and it's never really stressed me out before. But there's something about this one and the progress it's making. It kind of feels like it might actually happen, and I'm just not happy about it. I think there are bigger fish to fry. I think there's better ways around this, and I think it is government censorship, and I think we the people are not having our voices heard. An app used by 170 million people in this world, that's going to be shut down. I mean, in this country, it's going to be shut down based on issues that are valid, but I don't think that's the full reason why our government is shutting it down. Well, I have a great article that I want to read by the New York Times. I think it kind of sums up where we're at right now and like what's to come.
Please do.
I think a lot of us don't really know, and I think I'm here to tell my tale. as a member of the TikTok community.
And most of, if not all, but probably most of our listeners are TikTok users because that's where they found.
For sure.
us.
It's not a perfect app. It's not a perfect situation, but I don't think the right solution is to ban it. I think we have a lot of other things we should be focusing on first. A bill that would force the sale of TikTok. Oh, this is by David McCabe and Sapna Maheshwari. They dual wrote this article. So a bill that would force the sale of TikTok by its Chinese owner, ByteDance, or ban it outright was passed by Senate on last Tuesday and was signed quickly into law by President Biden on Wednesday morning. Now, personally, that's my own notes. Congress passed the measure citing the national security concerns because of TikTok's Chinese ties. Both lawmakers and security experts have said there are risks that the Chinese government could lean on ByteDance for accessing sensitive data belonging to its 170 million US users to spread propaganda. So they also included this in another giant bill. So it wasn't, they hid this, or not hide it, but they made it all or nothing. And it was one part of something that everything else had to kind of go through.
I see.
There was stuff in there for funding, like aid in Ukraine, which I'm confused. And I'm not a politician. I don't know how laws work, but why would something like this be in the same document that has funding for Ukraine? So right now we have 270 days. So the middle of January or 9 months, and it could be extended for up to a year, but there's a couple things this is what I'm really curious about. What happens now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The worst has happened at this point where it's gone through Congress and the president has signed it. So where do we go now? So TikTok, I think, is definitely going to challenge this in a lawsuit. They've already said they are, and they're going to base this off of the First Amendment.
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this girl made this thing. She was like, "Hey, First Amendment. Do you remember when that baker in the South didn't want to make a
Cake for the
gay
gays.
couples, and the Supreme Court passed it because it's their right, freedom of speech.
Yeah, suck my
So
ass.
here's our freedom of speech." And until they can prove that this has been an absolute there's been national security threats, right now it's the potential, right?
Right.
The data could
Interesting.
leak, but until they can prove that there's been a massive data breach, which I don't believe they have, where we have some grounds there. Also, another big issue. Oh, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just thinking it's all data. Be more specific. What are we looking at here, babes?
I think everyone.
Not you, but so I mean, when they're bringing this up.
No, I think it comes down to one of the most powerful apps in the United States is not in control by the United States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Meta is doing similar stuff. I think Snapchat is doing similar stuff. I think the difference is that they're owned by American companies. So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And it's not helping, not to bite the hand that feeds me, but it's not helping Meta's case that at the same exact time, the search bar is now ask AI anything, and people don't want to do that, which I totally understand. I don't know, the timing is weird. Times are odd.
Well, there's a really small buying pool of people who can even afford to buy this app. It's I think it's upward of $250 billion they'd have to sell it for if they even want to sell it, right? So I think Microsoft should buy it. What are they doing right now? I already said this publicly. Microsoft, do something, or we could all put our coins together and buy it.
That's what I said. I called Neopets.
Yeah, and what did they say back?
They said 404 error, email not working.
Yeah, they do typically say that to you. I think they actually have a retaining order on you for stalking.
Probably.
So Oracle and Walmart tried to buy it in 2020 as a partnership, and it was kind of the deal never materialized because Trump. Remember when Trump tried to ban it?
Yeah.
And they were going to buy it. So I wonder if they'll step back up and Walmart and Oracle will buy it.
Interesting.
In a partnership. Another thing is the issue of divestment. So even if TikTok approaches a sale, the process of separating TikTok from ByteDance, which is the parent company, is likely to be very messy. So the legislation prohibits any connection between ByteDance and TikTok after a sale. Yet TikTok employees use ByteDance software in their communication. Some of the people I work with at TikTok all the time, they have ByteDance emails.
Okay, Microsoft, they make software. Please.
Babe. So true.
Microsoft, step your pussy up. I want to be micro hard.
So there's companies that and they have the company's employees they're global, right? They have people working everywhere. Singapore, Dublin, Los Angeles, California. So it's unclear if ByteDance would consider selling TikTok entire global footprint or just its US operations, where the company has 7,000 employees working here.
And it's also like so many small businesses that have, made it or helps the economy. And there's, the economy right now.
Well, the biggest issue is like they're selling the algorithm. They're selling not just like the value, but it's like this software they've created. And this is essentially like China talking to America being like, we don't want Google anymore here. We want to run our own Google. So give us your Google algorithm for China. Like Google would be like, get fucked. We're never doing that. So there's a really big possibility of China looking at America right now and being like, get fucked. We're not doing that. Bye. You know what I mean? Like as much of a powerhouse and the value of what the United States brings to the app monetarily, like, I don't know if they're even going to go for it.
And we never thought we would see the day where the music got cut, the UMG thing. And they seemed really like shrugging their shoulders about it. They're like, we don't need it. We don't need to pay for that.
Exactly.
And they didn't. People are still there.
So they've showed their cards before and they're all spades. So I don't know what that means.
I was just going with it.
No, so there's just, and these are all the options, right? So it's like, even if it does sell, right? Who can afford to buy it? And does TikTok even want to sell it? Does ByteDance want to sell it? And how does that look? So it feels like if they do sell it, it's gonna be a completely different app. Like they're not gonna sell the algorithm. So it's gonna be
it'll
different.
be interesting. Well, because TikTok was originally Musical.ly, lest we forgot.
Mm-hmm. Well, but yeah, and ByteDance to own Musical.ly.
Interesting. Yeah, and
That's
the
like the
whole everything just like changed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna just have to wait and see. The only way that nothing changes is if they win the lawsuit. But I think we've all seen collectively that in the past 10 years, especially, just when you think the government can't do it, they've done it. We've been let down how many times as a nation? Like, I'm not even trying to be like overly political here. But
yeah, it's everybody across the board.
Yeah, it doesn't
It's
matter
just like which side
where you're at. At some point, the nation has let you down with a weird, like, unprecedented legislation. It just keeps happening over and over again. It does not feel like we the people anymore. It feels like we the old men in diapers in Congress
who have money and are money hungry.
Yeah, like just keep that lifetime seat up there and have your nurse come wipe your ass until your dying breath before you change anything that's actually going to benefit the people. I don't believe that we should have our data leaked, right? But if I'm going to sit here and think that that's the entirety behind it, I'm not.
No, and also if you think like I'm talking to you, camper, whoever's listening to this, that you can have a differing opinion. Obviously we are open to the conversation there. But if you think that you're getting the whole picture, like you're kind of an idiot for that.
No.
You think the government's going to tell us everything?
I don't think anyone ever gets the full picture. And it's so funny, even going back to like the beginning of the show, right? Talking with Caroline Manzo about the show Bravo. I won't tell you anything she said, but she said some things in confidence, right? And what we see versus what is really happening for her,
it's so different.
It's like the government is so reality TV in the sense where it's like they're showing you one picture that they want you to see.
And we're getting the edit.
And we're getting the edit. So what's really happening? So it's like that's how everything in this world is operating. You're seeing one vision that they're letting you see while there's giant things moving in the background. So
oh my God, like social media, like TikTok itself. They're using this Chinese propaganda pawn as your data is not safe. But what's the real thing happening here? Why are you so afraid of people having a voice that you can't control? A collective thought.
Oop. Sorry.
But there is also a lot of misinformation too. So it is a little bit of a mess, but yeah, it is.
Either way,
we'll have to.
I'm gonna protect my best interest. It's a part of my income. It's a part of the way
100%.
Guys, this is dead ass. This podcast would not be here without TikTok.
Without TikTok, yeah, it wouldn't exist.
We wouldn't be dating if we didn't have TikTok. We really wouldn't be. We wouldn't be.
We met through Instagram.
We met through Instagram, but the only reason why our relationship worked was because I was full-time because of TikTok. So I had the flexibility to visit you. You visited me a handful of times. I was in Philly so much more because you had to work. If I didn't have TikTok to like promote me home, and then do these ad deals, I wouldn't be able to go on like solo and then come see you all the time, which I do not believe that our relationship would have been able to deal with that time difference and that distance. Right. It wouldn't have. We wouldn't have been able to see each other. We wouldn't have that flexibility.
Wow.
So Kim Counters wouldn't have existed. So
keep that in mind.
No, yeah, and everyone can have their own opinions, but like this is my opinion, and I would like it to stay. Which is worse, The bent prong or TikTok being banned.
I'm gonna say the bent fork. I'm sorry, babe. It's
I'm
just
gonna say
so
no. I'm
annoying.
gonna say the bent prong too because that can really cup your mouth.
Do you think the new counselor likes the top bunk or the bottom bunk? Over.
Either way, I'm giving them my boondoggle keychain. Over. Welcome back to Crush of the Week. This is the part of the show where we talk about what we're crushing on, who we want to take to the dance, the spring formal to the spring informal afterwards. If you know what I mean. Shall I go first, as I always do?
Yes, please.
Okay, my camper crush is when people flash their high beams to warn you that a cop is around the corner. So you're driving at night and you're going a little too fast, and somebody's on the opposite side of the road driving like towards you, and they're flashing their beams, and that's our little communication. That, hey, there's a cop, he's going to see you speeding, so slow down. We don't know each other. We don't know each other's names. I can't even see your face. You're behind that windshield, but you're looking out for me. It is like the unwritten, shit, what did I call it yesterday? The
Code of conduct.
Code of conduct that we have on the road. It's a responsibility, and I really appreciate it. However, if it is somebody behind me instead of driving on the opposite side and they're flashing their beams, that's a different story. Because that means that I'm going too slow. Now, I do that to people, but it's like, this is the type of situation, a do as I say, not as I do, and I cannot be held accountable for my past actions or my future actions. Yeah. Exactly. We make up the rules here. We make up pretty much everything. But yeah, that's what I like when people flash their high beams. Do you remember that story? Oh my God, scary story around the campfire from the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Did you ever have that book?
No.
Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they made that weird, shitty movie. I forgot about that. What was?
I don't think it was.
that
I think
about?
people liked it.
I watched it and I didn't.
Oh, well, there it is.
The graphics were cool and like the stories themselves were cool, but
Uh-huh.
it just was. I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, there was a story in that. It was called High Beams, and I remember it so vividly because the illustrations were so scary. And it was this car that was following and flashing the high beams at the girl.
That's scary.
Do you remember that?
No, but that feels like stalking. That's
Mhm.
scary.
And she speeds up and the car speeds up and keeps flashing the beams, flashing the beams, flashing the beams. So she calls the police and she's like, oh my God, police. And they're like, we'll pull into this driveway or whatever, or this parking lot nearby and we'll meet you there so you're safe. So she pulls in and they stop the guy in the car behind her and they arrest him and he's screaming. He's like, no, there's someone in her back seat. And there was a man yielding a knife in her back seat. And he was flashing the beams every time he was sitting up. So he was trying to like warn her. Of course, it's not a true story, but it is a scary story to tell at dark.
What a twist.
Yeah,
That was exciting. So once again, high beams save the day.
truly. I love a high beam. I do.
And they don't have to be just at night. I like it. Anytime, like people will flash their high beams during the day if there's a cop coming too. And that's when you really know.
Or a
Safe.
flood.
Safe.
Sometimes like,
A flood.
yeah, where
Oh,
there's a giant
yeah.
flood where they're like, turn around, don't do what I did.
When
and their
the
car's
road's
like
flooded.
dripping. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen as much as the cop does. But yeah, that does happen sometimes, I guess. Or
Yeah.
or deer on the road, he's having a picnic. It's gonna be a long time. he brought out his napkins.
His napkins and his little gingham
Gingham, that's what I was
basket.
looking for. Thank you.
His gingham blanket. That's what it was. Yeah, and I think that's all I had to say about it, right? Yeah. That was pretty much it.
No, you don't have to say a lot about it because everybody knows it's universal and it's such a good crush of the week because that's an instant karma point. And when you do that, I do it for other people too.
Yeah.
But do you know if you get caught doing that, like if you do it to an undercover and they find out that's why you can't be pulled over, but then you can
And
still
you know
fight
what? I'm
that.
gonna say I'm sorry my wrist slipped. I'm sorry I tapped it. I
Yeah,
would fight that. I
true.
would fight that to the death.
They can't prove that. They really can't prove
Yeah,
that.
that's an empty threat. Bye, bitch. You stinky bitch. Like, how about you not be so sneaky? Anyway, what are you crushing on? I want to know. Who am I jealous of this week? I've been getting really jealous lately.
You're not gonna. It's not a person, so
Thank God.
it's
Harry Styles.
I'm crushing on seeing film sets in the city. I've been seeing a lot of movies being filmed lately, and I just think it's so exciting. I passed one in Bushwick this week on a walk, and then we passed one in Fort Greene by the park over there. And I think in New York, there's always trailers for like projects being filmed, and I'm always just excited to see what the movie's gonna be. They have these little posters up near these like blocked off streets and they'll say like, oh, filming from this time to this time, no parking, and they'll put the production company up, but I always feel like it's a cover.
It usually
They
is.
never say what it really is. But we were walking by one in Fort Greene and they had all the names on the trailers. Do you remember the names?
I saw Fallon. I saw Mark. I saw. Oh my God! Wait, literally my group of friends.
Literally, and then there's me, Angry
And
New
Rick.
Yorker.
Wait, it said Zach?
No, it said Angry New Yorker.
Oh, and that's you?
And then there was one for director, but it's just exciting. I just like love to see like a little peek behind the curtain. I've never actually seen anything be. That's one thing I haven't seen yet. I haven't walked right in New York and seen them actively filming. And I know that happens all the time.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was on TikTok and the algorithm was feeding me. It was, what is that Selena Gomez show? Only a
Was-
Murder in the Building?
Oh yes.
They were filming it. Yeah.
I was thinking the Wizards of Waverly Place reboot.
Oh, I don't think she's going to be in it. I think she's going to be in the first episode
Yes.
for 5 to 10.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a little kiss. When I had a meeting with my agents, and he was like, "We gotta get you some acting gigs." He's like, "Well, we can definitely get you into Law and Order SVU. Every actor in this city's been on that show." He's like, "They constantly need somebody," and I was like, "Get me in any scene with Mariska. I'll flip out." It made me think though, because it's like in New York, it's exciting because I feel like there's so much content being filmed here, but growing up, any film that was made in Massachusetts,
Oh, it's the
instantly
talk
my
of the
favorite.
town.
Instantly my favorite.
The talk of the town.
Were there any films in Pennsylvania or like Philadelphia specifically that you remember that you like, oh, I know that location, I love it?
M. Night Shyamalan is from the area. So
Mhm.
he would either film like in the city or the surrounding area. So there was usually something going on, like Lady in the Water was happening. The Happening, Phoenixville. Did you
Wow.
know? Did you know that? A lot of
No.
it was filmed in LA, but there's like
Doesn't matter.
this diner that they filmed at
That
specifically
matters.
and a bunch of places around Phoenixville. And I'm like, hey,
That's cool.
Phoenixville's up and coming. The girls in Phoenixville are like, we already came. Like,
Yeah.
girl, we've come.
They're like, pass the rag, bitch.
Please.
No, I do think Phoenixville is a
Ew.
sleigh.
But also, shit, what was it called? Not Glass. What's the other one? Split. Anya Taylor-Joy, my ex used to work at a coffee shop, and she would go in every day while they were filming to like go over her script. And this was before she was big. And she like would talk to him every day, signed a little napkin and kissed it. It had like, it was so classic, like Marilyn Monroe. It was so cool.
Did he keep it?
He did. It was in his wallet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anya.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, Baby Mama. Not all of it, but a lot of Baby Mama was filmed in Philly.
Yeah, that was because
Yeah.
she's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of film where you're from. So
Mhm.
for me,
What
it was
about you?
a lot of Adam Sandler stuff is filmed in Massachusetts.
I have Adam Sandler on the brain.
Grown Ups was filmed at the water park in Wareham, where I grew up, called Water Whiz. I went there every.
Water Whiz in Wareham.
Guess-
Did they do that on the radio?
No, I can only think of the Water Country theme song, which was the bigger water park in New Hampshire, and that would go Water Country, Water Country. Just spit so much. But yeah, I don't
What is
remember the Water Whiz
Waterworks?
one. But guess who I used to go to the Water Whiz with?
Who?
My church.
Of course you did. I thought you were gonna say someone like
All
specific.
roads lead back to God.
As they should, babe. As they should.
No, so that was filmed there, and then there was this other one called The Way Way Back, and that one was so good. Tony Collette, Steve Carell, and his worst behavior, Maya Rudolph.
Oh yeah. At the water park again, no?
That's the same water park they filmed Grown Ups 1 at. But that one's
Oh.
truly more about the water park.
I wonder why. What was so good about that water park? Was it poppin'? Was it a good layout?
It's not, I think Massachusetts, very much like Georgia, has
Tax
created
break.
a lot of tax breaks to create film studios there.
It's
So
true.
a lot of productions are in Atlanta as well, or just like in Georgia as well, because of like they're trying to bring in that tax money. Like New York, it doesn't matter what they charge because they're always going to need New York as the backdrop. It's like, why would they give them a cut? Like you're going to make it here regardless.
Mhm.
And
Well,
then
they do say that it is cheaper to film in Philadelphia and change everything on the street to look like New York than it is to film in New
Oh,
York.
I'm sure because they're going to jack up the prices here because also you have to get the police detail. You're blocking off streets. Like it is expensive, and there's a lot going on here, especially when they're filming like say Central Park.
Holy shit, it's so loud. We've tried to film stuff outside before and I just don't get it.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how
can't.
they do it. And then another big one I wanted to mention just was Hocus Pocus being in Salem.
Yay.
But there was one in New Bedford that came out last year. I haven't seen yet. It's called Finest Kind. And the entire movie is in New Bedford. And it's with Jenna Ortega and Tommy Lee Jones. If you ask anybody from New Bedford, they're going to say it's the best movie ever. If you go on Letterboxd, it has 2.5 stars. I don't think it's that good of a movie. I think everyone from my hometown is biased because
It was filmed there.
So when I see it, I'm gonna give it 5 stars because I'm from there.
Yeah,
but
of
it's
course.
literally at like so many like local restaurants and shit.
That's how Silver Linings Playbook was.
Oh my god, I love Silver Linings Playbook.
Such a good movie.
That's a good
They
one.
filmed on my mom's friend's street. Like my mom was getting text messages of what's her name? Jenna Ortega. What's her name? Oh my god, Jennifer
Oh,
Lawrence.
Jennifer
What
Lawrence,
the fuck is
good
wrong with me?
point.
I got my gens all mixed up. That she was literally like at the neighbor's house. I was like,
That's
is
crazy.
Crazy. What was that other one? Oh, Don't Look Up was filming when I was coming
But
to
that
visit
one
you.
sucks. Oh, that one's
Yeah.
filmed in Fall River. Yeah, they did.
I know I was driving past. I was like, what's all the hullabaloo?
Yeah, but
I
that
think I
movie
saw
wasn't
Glenn
good.
Close. I was close to Glenn Close.
She's not even in that.
Yeah, she is.
No, Meryl Streep's in that. Honestly, equally talented, beautiful women. I
The
love both.
movie was really bad.
If you're on YouTube right now, pause the video and please comment what movie has been filmed in your hometown because I'm sure it doesn't matter where you're from. There's
oh, what
been
a fun
movie.
activity.
Yeah, and like Salem, Massachusetts from me is 2 hours. Who cares? I still included it. It doesn't matter. Anything you've been to, you'd be like, I know this movie because I want people to feel included. And I think it's fine.
Someone's gonna be like, Human Centipede was filmed in my neighborhood.
And if it was, I would
Period.
let that comment. So
Hey, everybody, I'm Julie.
And I'm Brandy.
And we're from the Dumb Gay Podcast.
Now, you may know us from the People's Couch on Bravo or as hosts of the Vanderpump Rules After Show, which was also on Bravo. But both of those shows are canceled now.
Now we have the Dumb Gay Podcast, where we talk about politics and current events like we're talking about reality TV. If you'd rather watch Real Housewives than the news, then you need to be tuning into our podcast.
Yeah, and by the way, we didn't just start this podcast. We've been had it. So for everyone who's rolling their eyes going, oh, not them too. No, we've been here. So whether you pay attention to politics or not, it doesn't matter because you're definitely not hearing it like this. We're vulgar, we're crass, we're angry, we're inappropriate, and we're drunk half the time.
Half? Seriously, though, if you want to be part of the conversation, but you feel like you don't know how to jump in, consider checking out our Dumb Gay Podcast. It's available everywhere you get your podcasts.
Move over, Andy Cohen and Kyle Richards. It's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris time.
Paloop.
what song's been stuck in your head all week? Welcome to Camp Songs. Welcome back. Ooh, that was a little vocal fry.
That was
To
nice.
Camp Songs. What song's been stuck in your head all week, Jonathan?
I've been like a rock chick, you
You're
know.
you-
I've been like in my heavy metal bullshit.
No, you've always been a rock chick, whether you're listening to it currently or not. You are rock chick coded.
I am pop icon and I am also rock chick. And I was on the Peloton riding with Kendall and she had like a metal ride. And that is
Fun.
when I really just put in the work. I pop my pussy. It's the only thing that gets me to not think about what else is going on. Do you know what I mean? Like the pop songs are fun and good and like I'll be in a good mood, but I'm always thinking about like what I'm not doing when I'm sitting on the bike. Does that happen to you? I have such a hard time with that.
Well, I think if the rock songs are what are making you perform better, like just keep doing rock.
Well, they're the
rides.
metal songs.
The metal songs,
heavy
that's
metal
fine.
songs.
Like I think like for me that's different, but like that's you and that's what it should
Yeah,
be. It's
and
good
that's-
to find that vibe.
I've been reflecting on a lot of my old playlists and I totally forgot about this band. It's called In This Moment and the song is Dirty Pretty. We listened to it the other day. You did make me turn it off.
No, I didn't make you turn it off. The thing
It
is,
was a lot for like 9 a.m.
can I
get it.
please explain where I was coming from?
Yeah.
You were brake checking a lot. You're really brake heavy. You stress me out when you drive. It's a control thing for me. It's not you, it's me. But the mixture of braking and then you like putting on the GPS and then like panicking and then listening to heavy metal at the same time on the way to the grocery store before 10 a.m. was a lot. And I said, can we just put something later on? Like that's all I said. I'm not anti your music. I just thought in that moment, I was overstimulated and panicking.
In This Moment is the name of the band.
Oh, put them on.
Wait, that's like you wrote it. Okay, so anyway, you guys, if you don't know about this, and maybe it's not your thing, I feel like if you need like an introductory into this, it's very much like The Pretty Reckless. Like we've got a female lead, and I love a strong female lead. Her name is Maria Brink, and she auditioned for the band back in 2005, and she was rejected because she was a female. 2 weeks later, after a bunch of other people had auditions, they were like, girl, you were the best. And we wanted to, and we're sorry for being misogynistic, right? And then the song Dirty Pretty came out in like maybe 2014 or something. That was probably number 2 on my Spotify. What is it? Spotify Reflect?
Wrapped.
Thank you. Spotify Reflect.
They said, let's keep workshopping that. I don't love Reflect. You're so Bible.
Thank you, Bible. But that was number 2 in the year that it came out. I was loving that song. So she's one of the people that a bunch of videos will go viral of her stopping the show when something's going wrong. And she has such like calm, motherly control of the crowd. And it's so the juxtaposition of it all, because there'll be a mosh pit and she's just like rocking out, right? And then she'll stop. She'll like have the music cut if somebody in the mosh pit is getting too aggressive. And she has full control. Like everybody goes quiet. It's the craziest thing. An 8-year-old girl goes missing at her show. She stops the whole show and has everybody look around and like see if they can find the girl. They find the girl. It's all on video. I couldn't believe it.
Well, I think too, when she speaks, people listen.
Mhm.
Especially at her own show. Like that's when you use your power for good.
Mhm.
She's doing it.
Yeah, she's doing the damn thing. She's very American Horror Story, very Lords of Salem. She's very like Coven. Like her style is very Coven.
Okay,
I
so
should have
she's-
been more specific with
So
that.
she's
That could have been
gothic.
anything.
Just say gothic.
Yeah, but the visuals for it look like it should be in the intro of American Horror Story. I don't know. Give them a shot, guys. If it comes on the playlist, don't skip it. Just give it a minute. To
It's your,
listen to.
it's your playlist too. You're allowed to put what you want. If they don't like it, they can hit skip. There's so many songs that are available free to you, linked in this episode description on the Spotify playlist, or for free on YouTube.
That was good.
Thank you.
So what are you listening to? What are you jamming out to?
A brand new artist. Her name is Ryla Chance, Widows of Normandy. I found this amazing, incredible songwriter and musician on TikTok, an app that is trying to be banned. Wow, look at that. Another great use of TikTok is that you're able to find people who are unsigned, not on a label, independent artists who are putting out their music, and it can truly change their lives. It's happened again and again on the app. And I just DM'd her. She's got like 6,000 Instagram followers. I was like, hey, I'm talking about your song next week on our podcast.
Oh my God.
I just think you are incredible. She's a mix. Personally, to me, she sounds like Noah Kahan mixed with the Chicks. Her voice sounds like Natalie Maines to me, though, like the lead singer of the Chicks.
Mhm.
Like she's got that kind of tone. And I think that the storytelling is really like Noah Kahan essence, but she is in Nashville. But I couldn't really find much about her. So when I found the song on TikTok, she had posted, she's like, my song hit 20,000 streams on Spotify. I'm so excited. And now currently when I'm recording this, it has 510,000 streams.
Wow,
So
wow,
she's
look at
halfway
that.
to a
The power of
million.
it all.
And
Let's go give her some lessons, campers.
it's so cool. And like, I can't find much about her because this is her only song.
Mm.
She's young. She's very talented. Her bio says New England byproduct. I knew it. Like I
Wait,
didn't.
I love that.
I'm already obsessed with her. I found her Instagram. I'm like, oh, of course you're from New England. I get the vibe. It's just very sad.
Yeah, she's like, have you ever seen Don't Look Up? Like, please.
New England. One thing about New England, they're gonna put out sad music. We're gonna put out something depressing. And this is it is sad. But if you like Noah Kahan, trust me, you're gonna like this. But she's currently in Nashville, so she did respond. She's like, "What's the podcast? I want to listen." So I have to DM her and be like, "Hey, scroll to an hour and 15 minutes in, and you're gonna hear your part."
Yeah, I wonder if we're at an hour 15 right now.
Should I sing a little bit of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's like, I'm on my 6th Civil War documentary, and I can't take any more U.S. history. Is it the Adderall or what you're leaving did to me? Would things go differently? And then she goes into like the hook, and it's like so fucking good. And it's like the song is like kind of historical in the sense like she brings up like the women, like the widows of Normandy from the 40s. She brings up like having her husband go off to war in the Civil War, and it's all about like the men coming back, and she's like, but you're still a dick. Like you survived the war, and she's like, but you're still an asshole. And it's very sad and like so beautifully written. And I listened to it 45 times yesterday. I'm not joking.
Zach, and I'm not going to give it away before you try to shush me, but Zach had an image in his head of how he would do a performance to it. And he played line by line. We're in the car and he paused it and then he explained what was going on next. And it was just like,
No, I'll do it. I'll talk about it. So, because this is so fucking good and I'm never going to do it. So if you're a drag queen, take this idea. So I think it should start off with her zoned out on a couch, like really strung out, like kind of like, oh my God, I'm like just overwhelmed with life. I've just been left by my boyfriend. And this is a drag queen in my vision. And then when it goes into like, if, is it the Adderall, what you're leaving did to me? She falls on the couch, she pops back up, and it's a drag queen, Abraham Lincoln. because the first verse is all about 1865.
Mm-hmm.
So I want the bustier. I want the whole kind of like think about a Playboy bunny, but Abe Lincoln, and that's the only way I can describe the outfit.
And now, does he have yabos?
Yes, it's
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln in drag. So it's just a drag queen with a beard. Yabo's out. Think of the Dolly Parton Playboy cover.
Yeah.
That add the beard,
Slay Lincoln.
top hat, Slay Lincoln. But this is important. There's a little like war medal on the chest. Okay, right? So when it comes back up, if we were 1865, 2 states north of the Mason-Dixon line. Okay, at that point, when the song really amps up, takes the top hat off.
Confetti.
What?
Oh, I thought
No,
it was going to be
reveals
confetti.
this like really crazy, gorgeous weave. Because if we take that top hat out and it's confetti, it's Sasha Velour. We've seen it before.
You're so right. I'm such
We're
a fool.
doing the top hat into like the drag hair reveal.
What color is it? Black hair? Like Abe
It's
Lincoln?
brown. It's Abraham Lincoln. It's traditional brown.
We've only ever seen black and white pictures, so I don't know what color his
No,
hair
it's
is.
definitely like auburn ginger brown.
You think?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's kind of shocking because I always thought he had like jet black hair.
Well, you're right. Are there color photos?
No, that wasn't invented till like 1980s.
Nah, that's wrong. So the hair shakes out, but the very last part is she's like, would we grow old together? Cut, and then it's Abe Lincoln. He pulls the metal off his chest, and it's a bullet hole there, but it's glitterized. And then he goes, "Would you treat me better?" It's okay. It's kind of hard to explain because we're not listening to the music.
No, I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I'm not just saying it to gas you up. Like, it is such a great concept and so fun. He was shot in the head, but like, that's totally
I
fine.
know that, but
Is
it's
it-
like it's not gonna get the same appeal.
So who is he in? Is it with John Wilkes Booth?
Yeah, it's a commentary on the gay relationships of Abraham Lincoln being gay with John
With
Wilkes Booth.
No.
And you can believe that. You don't have to believe it. Like for me, I think it's way more fun to believe that Abraham Lincoln was secretly gay. You don't have to believe that.
And that's on that.
And at the end of the day, like he's dead either way. But this entire thing is filmed in the theater where John Wilkes Booth killed him. And like this relationship, his man coming home from war was John Wilkes Booth.
Where's Mary Margaret and all
Well,
of
actually,
this?
John Wilkes Booth kills him, but that's not who he was in a relationship with.
Or it could have
or
been a
was
secret
he?
one because he was jealous of Mary Margaret. Mary Margaret Lincoln.
So there's a Mary Lincoln play that's playing on Broadway right now.
Oh,
And it's
I've
like a
seen it.
comedy, and it's off Broadway, and it's so popular and so successful that they're considering putting it on Broadway. It's giving Titanic. It's giving Kimberly Akimbo like rise up the ranks. Either way, this song by Ryla Chance, who's a brand new artist, I think she's so fantastic. Widows of Normandy. If you trust me, you trust me. Trust me on this one. This girl's good.
Give it a go. It's only like a 2.5 minute song, I think, right? I'm totally pulling that out of my
4.5.
ass. But yeah, 4.5.
Me better.
You've got the time, campers, but don't pause this. Wait, it's almost over. We're gonna wrap it up, and then you can go.
We're
listen
done.
to
We're
it.
done. We're wrapping it up now.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, campers. We would greatly appreciate it if you give us a 5-star rating and review. And if you want us to read any of your stories on our Monday episodes, that is Trail Mix, you can go to our website, camcounselorspodcast.com, or send us an email, camcounselorspod@gmail.com, and we might just talk about you on the pod.
We have some great stuff on the Patreon. We just did some 2 deep dives into our Facebook pictures on our pictures from Facebook from high school.
Mhm.
We both did our own individual episodes there. We're doing a book interview about your Amish smut.
Yes, I finished reading the Amish exotic novel, and it is a memoir. And I have a lot to say. I have 14 pages of notes. So I'm really going through editing. I was working on it last night. So I'm still fleshing that out, but it is coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an Oprah-esque interview. The book is so heavy because the paper is like
It's physically heavy, like not content-wise, well, some content-wise. But the book is like, it's made good. You can tell the
well,
Amish
it's
made
funny
it.
because it's not a long book, but why is the book so heavy? Because the paper is like heavy paper.
It's 2-ply.
So that's coming up. And then we are going to, in 2 weeks. Yeah. So next week, when the next week's episode airs after this, we will be in Los Angeles, which will be very exciting.
We haven't even talked about going out of the country, but that's
Yeah, we're
happening
going
in
to
a couple
Mexico.
of days. We're going to vlog it. So there's stuff
There's a lot
coming
coming
up
on the Patreon, but if you don't want to watch, who cares? We love you anyways, but we love our Cabin 5.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening.
And with that being said, lights out, campers.